Hi, I am going to do a video today. I'm going to show you another simple, easy design that looks so beautiful. This is what I'm going to show you how to do, and it's absolutely pretty, beautiful, simple, and easy. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. I have my press-on set, and so the first thing I'm going to start with is the Light Elegance tack. And so this creates a sticky surface to adhere to. It does have, from my understanding, it does have somewhat of an acetone-ish component to it. So it does help where sometimes you can use Après Prep or acetone. On this one, I'm using this to help with adhesion so I don't have to use as many layers. It keeps me from having to file and buff it. I can just put this on, and then that way I can roll directly into my gel polish and not have to prep, buff, and then base coat. So I'm going to cure this for a minute. Okay, now I've got that out after it's cured, and I'm going to do a coat of the black. The one that I really like is Back to Black from Gotti. And so I've already shaken it up really good, and now I'm going to put a coat on all of them. And so this black I really like. It's highly pigmented, so I do try to put it on in a very thin coat. I don't want it to be super thick, but I don't press so hard that I can see through it. It's still got pretty good coverage. I tend to be where, even though some super highly pigmented gel polishes will cover 80% of the time, sometimes even 100% in one coat, I still try to go for 80% coverage. And then I'll go back in with that second coat, just to keep things thin and smooth on my gel nails so that I don't have to be cleaning up any wrinkling. And so I've got that all smoothed out. I'll check my cuticle areas to make sure that there's no pulling away. Sometimes it will, and I just go back and kind of bring it forward and hit it right before I put it into the gel lamp. Now I'm going to cure this for 2 minutes because it's highly pigmented. Okay, that one coat out, it looks really good. I'm going to do the second coat. And again, on the second coat, I make sure I have enough, but not like so thick. But I start to have my brush be a little bit more parallel and less at this angle and more at this angle, smoothing it out and allowing for it to come down and to cap all the edges. And I just work my way across. Again, this Gotti black is a really nice black. One of the catches I have found with it though, where sometimes as nail techs, when we're working, we're bouncing back and forth from one hand to the other. If you do this with this one, it may be prone to wrinkling. So once you do put it in, you do want to leave it in there for the full minute to cure. And so if not, you'll get wrinkling, and it's a nightmare to have to come back and to do it. So because it doesn't have a problem with pulling away from the edges, I would recommend that you just put it on every nail that you're going to have be black, and then you cure it for the full minute and not bounce back and forth the in and the out. And so before I put it back in, I will usually just take a moment and I'll just like look and see if there's anywhere where I need to fill out or like brush out like a dust spot or anything like that. And then I will put it back in and cure it for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, now these are out and they're ready for the next step. I am going to apply the foil. So I'm going to use my Gotti foil gel. This is my hands down favorite go-to foil gel. I find that there's a lot of forgiveness. Some foil gels are very picky. You can only do them for 30 seconds. If you do too much, it won't work. If you do too little, it won't work. They're just very finicky, and I find this one very forgiving. I cure it for 1.5 minutes, and then I let it cool down for about 1 minute, and then I tack my foil on it. What I'm using today for the foil is I'm using this foil, and I will link the link in the description. And it comes in a package of like, I don't know, a ton of these of different colors. So again, I thought it was a really good deal, and this is such a pretty design. It is such a pretty foil. And so you kind of see it. And what I have done is that is the whole piece, and I have cut off a little piece for me to use. And so I'm gonna put my foil gel on it, and then I'm gonna cure it. Guys, when I'm doing press-ons, I will move it around. Obviously, if you're working on a finger on a person, you can't do that. I will make sure that I'm getting it on thick enough to have a smooth layer, but not so much that it adds like so much bulk to my nails. And I'm just moving through them. And that's why this is considered a very simple design, but yet very pretty, is because you're doing a lot of the same. A lot of the same stuff. And I had a lot, so I wiped the big bulk off and then just come back in and again smoothing it out. And so again, this is my favorite foil, and I will link the store that I buy it from. I buy it from a store called Gemini Cosmetics. Their website is GeminiNevada.com. They're really great people, and they have a lot of wonderful product that you can buy. So once I've got all that on, I will cure it for 1.5 minutes. Okay, now it's back. I cured it for 1.5 minutes, and I let it cool down for 1 minute. That cool down period is really important. If you don't do it, it won't always tack correctly. Then I have my little art stands that I got off of Amazon, and I will link those as well, that I use. And so I put them on, and I'm just going to tack it in 2 to 3 spots. So I will just randomly pick a spot, and I'm just tacking it. And I love how this has like the jaggedness. I use that to create the randomness of it. Do you see how it makes it not look exactly the same? And then I will, and when it pulls off in different things, it will make it look different and unique. And so, and then over here, and just, and this is really quick. So if you were doing it on nails on a person, you wouldn't have the downtime of, you know, setting it down and reattaching something else. But you do see how this is a very quick, but yet the effect is so incredibly pretty, and your clients will absolutely love it. And then finally down to the pinky. For the pinky, I will come back in here and use maybe some of these smaller spots. And because I don't want big chunks, because I do want some of the black to show through. Okay, so now I'm going to set this aside, and in order to stamp on top of this, I had tried matte. Sometimes you'll see me put down matte and then stamp, but I found that because I'm using a design that is so detailed, and I'll show that to you once I put this in the gel lamp and then come back out, I will show you this, but because the flower design that I'm using has very fine detailed lines and I want to be able to be particular, I am going to put another coat of the Gotti foil gel. And again, this will give me time to play around with those images and decide exactly how I'm going to put them down and to look at them, because I don't want it to be the same on every finger. I don't even necessarily want it to be exactly the same as the other hand. This is truly meant to be a completely random design, and all 10 fingers can be different. Sometimes if you try to make them all exactly the same, it actually makes it harder, and sometimes just the randomness of it and the uniqueness not only makes it easier on us, but then it makes it faster. So here we go. And now that it is all done, you can see how pretty that is. Absolutely beautiful. Even if we just stopped there, that's stunning. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to stamp on it because we want it to look like this. So we're going to cure this for 1.5 minutes, let it cool for a minute, and then we'll bring it back out and we will start to stamp on the nails. Okay, so when I pull it out of the lamp, I'm going to use this stamping plate. This is the Moira Nail Stamping Plate 75 Norca's Garden. I love this plate because it is an outline of a lot of really beautiful flowers. And you can use this for stamping when you want to see through the edge, but this is a beautiful plate as well for watercoloring. And so this image that we're going to be using is this one in the corner. So let me get my stamping stuff, and then here these are. And I'm going to get my stamping stuff and I'm going to put it right here off to the side. And I'm going to use, I like to use my Maniology stamping mat. And so I put it right off to the side. And I'm going to put that right there. The stamping polish that I'm loving, that I love Maniology, but I also really like Queen. I think this is a really good price point. I think, I'll link it too. It comes like 12 bottles to the set and it's $30. So it actually comes out to being like $2.50 a bottle if I'm doing my math right. And so that's a really good deal. It has like black, white, red, some really good colors. So if you want something different than Maniology and you want to get a good starter set to get you going, this is a nice one. So it's what I'm going to be using. I am using my clear jelly stamper. I have taken the bottom and the top off, and then a scraper. So I'm going to, again, get my little nail art stands. I do like these when I'm going to work independently. I do like having these to pull off so that I can move them and I'm not touching the tack off the other ones. So I'm gonna do this, cut this across there. I'm gonna scrape. It's being difficult. Let's see how it picks up. Oh, it picked up good. So you're gonna do that. Now, because I've used the foil base, I can take the time to clean this off so none of this sticks to the nail. And this is just Scotch tape. Okay, then I'm gonna look at this, and I think on this one I might do the 2 nails, and I picked this design because the flowers are see-through and I didn't want to completely cover up. There's a lot of flowers I had, but their lines were too thick and I specifically wanted something with thin lines. So on this one, I'm just gonna stick it right there and you can see it go down. And then I'm gonna slowly pull out, going slow, then I break it off. And anything that may stick out, I wipe off. But oh guys, look at how pretty that is. That is so lovely. like so lovely, and that blue shows right through it. So now I'm gonna clean this off. And so I'm gonna clean it off, but if I wanted to, I still have flour left on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that for this one. And so it can be right here, and I could come to the side. I don't want to do on the same. I try not to do on the same on each one. So I would probably come over here to the corner and put that one down exactly like that. And just getting the most use out of it. And I hold it for like a count of like 3 to 5. And then when I pull off, I'm slowly but surely doing it slow, and I'm pulling the stamper out and then off so that if there's any extra, it doesn't like flip up onto the nail. And then I will take this and I will clean this off with this. Okay, so that is very beautiful. Again, another beautiful one, so pretty. A client is gonna love this. Now I'm gonna wipe this off. I'm gonna come here again. And I'm gonna pick up, and I'm gonna take a moment and look at it and see if it picked up. It did pick up really nice. I'm gonna bring my Scotch tape. Some people will use a card. You can absolutely do that. And but I like to use Scotch tape because typically if I use the card, anything I miss with the card, I have to come back with Scotch tape anyways. So I just save myself the time of having to pick that up. And I just have me a big roll of Scotch tape that I keep off to the side. So now I'm gonna take the next one out. So now I've done this side. I've done this side. Now I have to decide, am I coming on this? Am I gonna come on this side? And so I might, let's see, maybe 3 of them. Trying to get a little bit of the ones, and then this one, just like this. And then again, I'm gonna pull up. And when I get to this edge, I'm gonna be slow, and then I'm gonna just get anything that I missed there. Now this one, I put down so much design, I don't think I can use it again. So I'm gonna clean it off, and I'm gonna clean off my plate. I'm gonna swipe. Put the polish on there. Pick it up. Very pretty. I'm going to come here, take off this excess around the outside just so that it doesn't stick down on the nail. And I'm gonna pull this one out, and I'm gonna come from the bottom on this one. And then I'm gonna pull up, being very careful, and then push down any of those, push that down. And then finally for the pink one, because I do have enough left to put on the pinky. And let's see, maybe this time I do just a little bit from the leaf and maybe the flower. And then you see when I pull up from the image that doesn't have a lot of the extra. And when I go to the edges, I'm super careful because you see these little flyaways come apart, okay? Now I'm gonna clean this. I'm gonna set this off to the side. I'm gonna take a moment and clean my card, clean the stuff off my card. I will get the bulk of the paint off, and then before I'm done using it, and then I'm gonna get a torn up paper towel. I'm gonna get some acetone, and I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna clean it good and really well. And then when you do acetone, it will sometimes give it this like dirty, like foggy look. And what I will do after that is when I know I'm gonna be putting it away, I will follow it up with alcohol. And alcohol a lot of times will get a lot of that off. And then you put it away after that. It won't always be perfect, but it will be better than it would be if you just put it away. You see? Again, that was the image, and this is the images on this plate. So pretty. This would be like a really great plate to watercolor with. So I'm gonna put that away, put it back. I do keep my Moiras in their folder. Now, as a top coat, and let me close my snapping polish bottle and set it aside so it doesn't stay open and evaporate out. I'm gonna take my Gotti top coat. It is our no wipe gel top coat, the non-thick one, and I'm let you put this little mat away. And I'm gonna just top coat this. And this is super stain resistant. This is a really great top coat. It's super thin, so it's not like their thick one. And I'm gonna cap the free edges, just making sure that I have anything like just capped in. Okay. Again, this is random, and you can see how you could still see that really pretty blue, and it gives it like a depth in there, and it's so lovely. Your clients will love this so much. And so simple, fast, pretty, and you could make really good money doing this design. Because this is a foil, a metallic foil on every nail, instead of a designer nail, you would, and I would if it was me, you guys can have your own ways of charging. I would charge for each nail I put the foil down on, and I would charge for the nails that I stamped on. So that your pricing is up to you, but that is where I would be. And now I am going to cure this for a minute, and it is very beautiful. Okay, so after it comes out, you want to let it, when I'm going to do a press on set, or even if you were doing it on a client, you would want to wait like 3 to 5 minutes and allow it to cool down. What this does is it allows your shine to stay nicer. You don't want to go right into like slapping cuticle oil on them or lotion. If you're doing press-ons, you just set it aside and wait. So the things that I use for press-ons is I use these little things, and and they came with these little tabs to adhere it on. And then I will peel off the red one. And then because when I hold them, I take my pictures holding it on this side, I try to put the nails on this side. And so I will. And once I have them, I will look at them and see if I need to adjust any. So you put this however you want, and I will usually come and I will use my shirt and I will just buff them out. Oops. Oops, my bad. Pop that one right off. And then that way, when I get ready to take my pictures, they are ready to be taken. And you can see how beautiful these are and how nice they look. Like, look at that. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely easy. Hi, if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. Check out the descriptions for any links of products that I use. I'll also try to link any websites. Have a beautiful night. Thank you for following along.